Pardon the masculinity. What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video, joined today by a very special returning guest, Mo. Hey, Mo.
Hey.
How are you?
What's up? I'm good.
You doing all right? Here's the topic that we wanted to talk about today. You guys are already looking at the description in the video somewhere down below. Is chivalry dead? Okay. I wanted to bring this conversation up because I've talked about it probably months ago. Was the last time that the word chivalry that I have brought up, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to get into it. My contention is that it's not yet dead completely, but it should be, because it doesn't provide any value to a man in the dating game today. I think that for tradition's sake, there was a time and a place, but y'all have been iterating and innovating on yourselves over the last couple of decades, and a lot of times this innovation causes the need for us to switch up how we approach the game. If they don't value it, don't do it. I brought Mo on here today to have a clear, coherent, and consistent conversation. Mo! Opening up deliberation. Do you feel like chivalry is dead?
I don't think it's dead. I think it's decreased. But I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead at all.
Why?
Because I think that jewelry is more so, I guess, traditional. And I feel like there are still men out there that are more traditional.
Here's my contention. Not never in a situation that I have utilized chivalrous acts. Now let's be clear. Let's define it to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Right. So when I say chivalry, I'm thinking, I'm gonna open and hold the door for you. I am going to walk on the side of the street that's closest to the car. I am, after a rambunctious afternoon or evening, I'm gonna walk you to your car where it might be dark outside. All of those things, generally in my life, I was told that as a man, you have to do those things. And I fed into the idea that the more that I did chivalrous things, the more that a woman would respect me and my masculinity. Because typically you think chivalry is a part of being a masculine man, masculine dude. What I've found, though, is that I've engaged in a lot of situations after I came to this realization that it may not matter, and I still get all of those things and then some without doing chivalrous things. Multiplied on top of that, I think that there's ideas within feminism that have driven certain outcomes. One of those outcomes is the term microaggression, which is a microaggression is something that a person can do, and whether they know it's offensive or they may not know it's an offensive, someone else can take offense to it. So we've come to a time in our history where opening the door might be seen as a microaggression because it signals to a young woman that she can't open the door herself. Okay? Also multiply with the fact that I think that there's less women today that deserve chivalry. The data that I have to support that is not only does it not make them more attracted to me, the more chivalrous that I am, but how they may be portraying themselves as seen on the internet leads me to believe that you don't deserve chivalry. Now, that's not in all cases. I'm not going to be the all police over here. I'm specifically referring to the ones who I can see their insides from social media, okay? I think it's dead. I would not be the one to say 100% women killed it, but I think men are not going to do things that are not advantageous to them. If we do not feel like it's advantageous to us to do it, then we have no reason to do it.
Well, I mean,
Whoa.
well, you just
Killing her.
went, no, you did a lot, so
Okay.
my memory, I gotta try to rewind and figure out. But I strongly disagree. Like, I disagree. I don't. How do you know that when you were chivalrous with other women? How do you know that that was them, that they didn't like that? How do you know that that made you less attractive?
I think them liking it is other people telling them that they
That's
should
not the
like
question.
it. Well, here's the thing. I know that me not being chivalrous made them not like me less because cheeks were still achieved, right? And she still wanted to be in a relationship or situationship or whatever, or a blank buddy, right? All of those things still wanted to occur. And in fact, the ones that I went out my way to be chivalrous, right? Those are the situations that I may have wanted because I was going that little extra mile. Those are the ones that didn't turn out. So if as a mildly educated man, right, who studies history, okay, the reason why we study history is so we know not to perform the same mistakes as we've seen in the past. And in my mind, if I'm saying, well, if the North Star is to engage in activities with women that consistently promote my happiness, but when I deploy chivalry, it doesn't seem to aid in their feeling or respect towards me, then why would I keep on doing it?
I mean, that could just be your experience and the women that you were dating, but I don't know how that would make you less attractive. Like, that's just not the type of woman that I am. Like, I don't understand how you can be masculine and be a protector and not be chivalrous. Like,
Well,
I don't understand how you can practice being a protector, but then not do certain things to provide safety for her. Like, because the things that I think about, like opening the door and walking on the certain side of the street and certain things like that, like, those are actions to provide protection.
yeah. So and I agree with you. And here's what I say to that. I think once that respect is earned, and if my goal as a dude is to be in a relationship with her, and there are components within my masculinity that want to be chivalrous. You tired, Mo?
I'm sorry, you know I'm a Leona.
If there's things that she has done to prove that she deserves, right, a degree of chivalrous activities, my thing is you just don't provide that level of your masculinity to anybody, and especially those that do not deserve it. If she has proven that she deserves that level of respect, then my thing is, yes, provide, make sure that, that safety is key. Make sure that she feels ultimately protected in whatever in that situation is. If your goal is to be in a relationship and you want to take it to the next level, but my contention is, I think chivalry is dead because it doesn't aid in the dating game. What I'm just referring to is if you want to get in a relationship with said woman and you're using components of your masculinity to make sure that she understands when she walks next to you out on the street, she doesn't have a fear in the world. But in the courting process, you shouldn't put her on a pedestal. And one of those things that I think far too often dudes do is that they like if you look at a dude's toolkit, a blue pill dude's toolkit, top 3 is doing all of the chivalrous activities, and he thinks that because he's doing, the chivalrous stuff, he thinks that he's entitled to, you know what I'm saying, to receive respect from her. And I think that the more that you do it before she earns that respect, the less likely that she'll respect you. Because then you put her up on a pedestal. You put her yay on high.
I gotta, because I'm trying to catch up. You said a lot just now. But I don't think that that's the reason why you didn't last with them. Like your previous situations, just because you open a door or you may have walked in a certain, like, I don't believe that that's the reason why it didn't work out. Like, I don't believe that you doing that made you less attractive. Now, I don't think that you should do it to people that are all outright, like, disrespectful. Like, if you don't know the girl, or she just has a stank attitude and she just walking up to the door, she don't know you from Canterbury and she's just waiting for you to open the door. Like, I get that. That's a whole nother thing. But I feel that being chivalrous, I think you can be towards anybody, your mom, your sister. It's just providing a certain level of, it could be your friend. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It just depends on if you feel like, as a man, you are supposed to be a protector no matter who you're around. That's just I think that that's just what you have to find within yourself. If you go out with a bunch of female friends and a man is trying to attack them, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like, okay, I'm not dating her, but I need to protect them because they're women? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it doesn't have to be just with a significant other. I don't think that it's dead, and I think that it's not as modernized today, but I don't think it should ever be dead.
To me, I hear what you're saying.
And I'm not saying you can't get it, sorry to cut you off, but I'm not saying you can't get in her pants and you can't get what you want from her, because there's other ways that you can sway and seduce and persuade someone, especially women, especially if they like you. Sometimes we settle, and men settle too. But I just think that that's something that we settle with sometime. But I don't think that that'll keep a person. I mean, depending on the woman, I don't think that that'll keep her. She might tolerate it temporarily, but I don't think that that'll keep her.
I think, so a couple comments based on what you're saying. The first is I don't want there to be confusion on the difference between self-defense or defending a group with chivalry. I think those are different things. So I want to just split out that particular. I mean, we can get into that exact, but for the topic of chivalry, like, you think chivalry is combined with defending? I mean,
I was looking at it as an overall protection. So when I think of being chivalrous, those are things that you put in place in order to be like, I think that in movies, it looks like people are doing it based off of romance and certain things like that, and that may be it, but the reasons why I feel like it was developed is based off of protection. So when I did that comparison, I was just based off of the protection. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, being a protector as a whole. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you would do it for your friend, like, if you would defend your friend or you would protect your friend when, certain things happen, I feel that you should also do it for your friend, your significant other, your mother, your sister, any woman that you feel like you, as a man, should protect or you care for, or whatever the case it be, you should do. Now, I don't know. For me, I feel that it's attractive. I feel that
Let me just respond off to that before you go to your next point. Again, I think chivalry for the purpose of romance is different than chivalry for the purpose of defense. Those are two different, in my mind. When I talk about chivalry, I'm talking about the old school chivalry where you on a date with a girl and a sucker used to take off his jacket, and if there was like a puddle, and then she would walk all daintily across the jacket, and then he pick it back up. Like, I'm talking about romantic chivalry. I'm not talking about defense. So I don't want to mix the two. But if you're talking about defense, I still think that it depends. Like, I think that your family, your best friends, if something is happening and, right, it's a different reaction based off of you're sitting at the bus stop and there's like a domestic violence and you don't know, because domestic violence situations are some of the weirdest things to get involved in, because those can be crimes that are committed out of passion, which has absolutely no logic to them, and you can find yourself in precarious situations if you just react without understanding what are the pieces to the puzzle around you. However, a situation like that, I would say you have more skin in the game if it's involving super close friends or family members, right? So like, I think that, but I don't want to convolute, at least my initial definition of chivalry, which is the romantic chivalry, the pedestalization chivalry, the walking on the side of a road is different than, having to be masculine and aggressive in situations where there's someone's back up against the wall. Like, I feel like those are two different.
And like I
said, but just real quick, last point. I want to, because you said a lot of different things. I'm not saying. Here's what I'm saying. Chivalry is not. It's not. What I'm saying is it's dead to a lot of dudes because there's no benefit in adding it in their toolkit, in their dating toolkit. Because if they add it, it will not attract a woman more. And let's say they do add it and they're not doing it in a way, and they're doing it in a way that puts them on a pedestal, it will make the woman like them less. So I'm saying don't rely on it. It shouldn't be in your top 5 toolkit for dating. What's
in your top 5 toolkit?
That's a top 5 toolkit video. We can get to that in a different video, Mo. But that to me, but that to me is not in a top 5. I wouldn't rely on it. I do think that there's a level of security, protection, or degree of chivalry once it's been earned.
Oh, I think because in the beginning when we first started, I thought you said like it should be dead. Like your viewpoint was it should be dead. But if you're saying that it should,
courting,
if you're saying that it should be only at a certain time, then. But I mean, as a woman, I'm attracted to it. I'm attracted to it. I feel that without it, it makes me respect a man a little less. So I do. I mean, I'm for it. I agree that I don't feel like you should just be, giving it to everybody. But I feel like if you date someone and you go on one date, let's say you don't even do it the first time. Let's say the first time you go on a date with her, you don't open her door, you don't do anything like that. But after you got, as adults now, and being more in tune with yourself and what you like, if you get this girl to a second date, you must like her. So if you like her, then I believe that she's earned at least a door open. And for me, I believe that you know what you like and you know when you like a girl. So if you like her, I feel like you should be chivalrous. And I feel that I hate to use like good woman, but I think that a good woman would appreciate that, and I hold that against you and respect that. Like, why would I not respect or like somebody less because they didn't like they opened my door? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I do feel that it should be a conversation of what are you comfortable with, what are you not comfortable with, because I know some women that don't want the man to open up the door because it's just like they gotta wait in the car until they come around. I think that I'm kind of like that. Like, I don't expect, like, I think once in a blue is nice, but I'm not gonna be like sitting there waiting for you to open my door, but I'm okay with that. But as far as when it comes to protection, then you probably should tell my ass to stay in the car until you've scoped the scene, and I just have to submit. But personally, I'm used to being by myself, so I don't really look at the door open or something like that. As far as like walking late at night, I don't care if it's your mother, your sister, you just met the girl that night. I don't think that you should allow, as a man, I don't think you should allow no woman to walk nowhere late at night in the back alleys or anywhere like that. I feel that you either have to sacrifice your convenience to get your car and drive her to her location, or make sure she get it, like, somehow, some way, because in society today, you really do not know. Like, you just don't know, and as a woman, it's uncomfortable. But I feel like that's something that's a conversation I shouldn't even have to have with someone that, you know, I'm dating or I'm interested in. Like, because people watch you. You do the same thing every day. Men are crazy, women are crazy. Like, they watch you, they see your moves. People could be watching your house and stuff like that. So,
You know what it is, and this is why I appreciate our discussion, because I actually realized something while you were speaking. I think that it's what bothers me is the chivalrous acts that seem like manipulation. Like, they seem like tests, right? Like, to me, why am I opening the door when the car industry has made it such that every human being that has normal arms can open the door? It doesn't make sense to me. So you can open your own door. There's no protection. There's no security. But then walking someone back home, you know, like if you live in a shifty part of the neighborhood, you know, like I can see and understand that. So I understand your point. But I think, to reiterate, it bothers me when people think they put these like whack tests in order to gauge how a dude feels about a woman. And, like, you have two arms. You have two arms, and you go to the gym from time to time, and this door is not heavy. You see what I'm saying?
Point, though. I think that you feel that way because you're looking at it in a different way. Like, the whole point of opening a door is not to just open her door. The whole point of opening a door is to basically scope the scene before she exits the door. So if it was dangerous, or if there's like something going on or something like that, like you see, you could say movies or whatever, you'll see the man be like, stay right here, I'm about to go, whatever. I believe that was the reason why, because if we're in a car, like this, we're in a car, and
so you're talking about when
we
you're getting
both
out the
get
car.
out. I'm saying,
because I'm thinking when you're getting into the car, but just to be
no,
specific.
I'm talking about getting out the car. I mean, that's if you're gonna, yeah, I'm talking about getting out the car. I mean, I'm not sure of why the opening the door to get in the car, that may be a little bit more romantic, but it makes sense for me, it makes sense if you open your woman's door, like getting out of the car. Because I feel like if we both get out of the car at the same time, I could be kidnapped on this side. Like, if somebody was waiting for me on this side of the car, you wouldn't even fucking know because you looking that way. I'm done. So, when a man opens up his door, he gets out the car, he basically telling her to stay in the car. Because if she's in the car, she could lock the door real quick or try to whatever. So, for me, I feel like it depends on how you look at it. Like, and I have been in situations where I've thought about that. Like, I feel that do it and allow me to say, no, honey, it's okay. I don't need that. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then at that point, if danger were to happen, like, it's not on you, it's on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel that I respect more a man that is chivalrous at first, and I could say, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? But I do feel that some women go through this feeling of, I don't want to be too much, or I don't want to seem like I'm doing too much or something like that. So they settle, or they place themselves back. But I think a real man, like, regardless if she was like, like, if he really, really, really wanted to protect her, and he's the leader, and she can be submissive, that will be something to submit. Because at that point, it's like, okay, I understand you don't care about it, but I'm doing this for your safety, so you need to just wait till my ass get to the other side of the, So for me, I feel like that's attractive. Like, I don't know.
You know what it is? It's just what I said before. It's the difference between being chivalrous for romantic reasons and being chivalrous for legit protection and leadership reasons, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'll open up a door if I'm leading you through it. I'll come and open the door if I feel like there's legit danger around and I'm exercising my right as a Second Amendment supporter. You see what I'm saying?
When you
So
say
like,
lead, do you mean like you open the door and you walk in first? And
no,
then
no.
hold the door?
I
Like,
open the door and then lead her in because I am the
okay.
leader. Now, the difference is, and I've had this done as well. A woman will walk up to a door and stand there like this, and then look behind just a little bit, and is waiting for your hand to come in front of her and open the door for her. And I'm just like, but you have two arms. You have two arms. Open the door yourself. You're in a position that's less uncomfortable. You're right in front of it. Now, if I was ahead, I will open it for you because I'm leading you in. Now, I'll do that not from a romantic perspective, but from a leadership perspective. I will do that because I am maintaining control of the situation and what's around. You see what I'm saying?
Now, leading as far as like protecting, or you just leading because you're leading her in the right direction?
Well, I guess there's a degree of I think that's both. That's a both and answer because you're leading, being a leader, you are protecting those around you from any ancillary things that may happen, right? Whether or not it's you open the door and you point out like a rock that's on the floor that she might trip on, or there's someone shifty coming up a different direction. So I get it. So I think, but in my mind, I'm splitting out the asinine reasons to be chivalrous for those that may not deserve it. I think that it has to be earned from a romantic perspective, but from a protection perspective, there's use cases for that.
I don't think it should be earned. I feel that it should be respected. So when your situation, when a girl was standing there and waiting for you, that's more so of an entitlement thing, and okay, you don't have to do it for her. But I don't think that it should be like you shouldn't do, like you can't. For me, it just baffles me to pick and choose when you want to lead. Like you want to lead when you open the door, but you don't want to lead in other things. So for me, I feel like if you are going to lead her in the right direction or lead her, then that should be, if you're holding the door open to lead her in, then you might want to be opening the door for when you're in a car with her, because that's still leading. You're leading her. So I don't know. Like, I don't think it should be a difference. Like, you're either chivalrous or you're not. I
disagree. I think that there's different levels to chivalry and different reasons for doing it. My content. So that was your closing statement, because I'm gonna wrap up here in a second. Because we're gonna have to agree to disagree at the end of the day.
I just started.
You wait. No. You wait. We're gonna turn it back on because we talked about the 5 things before. I think we should get another video actually talking about those things as well. Here's my contention again.
I got one more though.
They don't pay for my bills. We're not supporting them. Okay. My contention is the romantic aspects of chivalry. Do away with those. They don't add any value, especially in courting. But there's a communication key there as well. I had one of my married friends on here recently. He said, "I don't buy flowers ever," and she knows that. She said, I let her know. But buying flowers, all that shit, that's chivalrous stuff as well. Like I had a dude that came up here a couple of years ago, and there was this girl in med school that he started to talk to, and then it was gonna be their first date, and he went out and he brought a flower before that first date, and the flower matched the shirt. I wanted to smack the petals off the flower. But at the same time, I don't think that it added to his game. Of course, they're not together today. She went and she was doing his thing, he was doing his thing, and life moved on. And what my contention is that romantic chivalry is not adding value to the game. And in fact, the more that you do it, the more that you put them on a pedestal because they're forcing you to do asinine things that make no sense, the less that they will respect you. Now, the leadership defense chivalry, it's a little bit different. Okay. We gotta wrap up this video. You want to go ahead.
I completely disagree with everything you just said. And I'm a woman, and I'm telling you, I completely disagree with what he's saying. Like, this is what I think you guys should do. I think these are conversations that you should have. Maybe on the second date. What do you need? What do you like? What do you want? You know, have the conversation, because I'm telling you, if you believe that all women should earn for, like, no, not even all women, women that you're interested in. So women that you like and that you're interested in should earn like that. I just, you like them. You want to show you like them, and I do feel like they respect you more when they know that they're taken care of. And if they don't, then they didn't like you in the first place. It wasn't you opening doors for them. It was something else. And when there are women out there that love language is words of affirmation. So when you're being romantic, or acts of service. So when you're being romantic and you're doing certain things, that's what thrills her. So I don't know what he's talking about. But you know what? If you want to date and not, court someone, and you want to just do dating things,
Smash and dash.
then go right ahead.
There'd be more y'all wanting to smash and dash than us nowadays. You know what I mean?
But I will say that you're right. I don't think that that's going to determine whether she sleep with you or not, like, or she messes with you or not. I just don't think that'll keep her. Like, I think after a while it'll get to her.
There it is. All right, well, Mo, thank you so much again for coming through.
Thanks for having
We're
me.
on a couple of those final points. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. It's all right, but hopefully you've come out this conversation relatively unscathed, at least enough to live to battle another day. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com, patreon.com/MT&R. Link down in the description below. Till next time, YouTube. Peace, motherfucker. Hold on, let me bring that back. Hold up, put your hands up out of here. Peace. We're gonna have to fight it out.